When you look at sort of Conor McGregor coming off this win, especially at welterweight, what do you think should be next for him? There's so many options. People are talking about Masvidal. Conor's sort of interested in maybe fighting for the title at some point. There's the Khabib rematch. There's Justin Gaethje, who, there's Nate Diaz trilogy potentially, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. What do you think should be next for him?
I think if he's a smart man, he does Pac-Man, right? I mean, that's not $80 million in his pocket because this guy's a great promoter. But, I think he loves to collect belts, right? Masvidal, man, you got the BMF title. Then you have 2 UFC titles in 2 different weight classes, and you have the BMF title. I think that's pretty cool. And Masvidal, he's a handful. This guy's super explosive. I mean, look at him. His last 7 fights, I believe, is 1 decision. The rest is all knockouts. And he fought some great guys. So, I think that would be a fight that could probably beat any record. I truly believe that, especially because the way they hyped it up, with Diaz and Masvidal, and everybody was watching that show. Now imagine McGregor against Masvidal, because Masvidal, I mean, he's got over 1 million followers as well, I saw. I mean, I think that's going to be a super big pay-per-view if they do that. And then the smart move for him would also be, of course, Manny Pacquiao. I think that's great. It depends on what weight, not 145. I think he's way too skinny at 145. He shouldn't fight like that anymore. I mean, I saw him one time everybody see him at the weigh-in, right? I mean, that simply looks unhealthy. I wouldn't do that. And by the way, I heard also that the reporter said that he didn't do anything in boxing. McGregor, was that true? That he said he didn't respect him for what he did in boxing?
As in Stephen A. Smith did?
Yeah, did he say that as well? Because I go like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a guy who fights his first pro boxing match, and he goes 8 rounds against Mayweather, who's undefeated. I mean, arguably one of the best boxers on the planet, and to give him hell in the first 3 rounds, I think he did a phenomenal job. I think if he would have been in crazy shape, he would have gone the distance, actually. Going the distance with a guy like Mayweather, I think is pretty impressive. For your first fight ever, boxing professional? Come on, man. See, you remember how all these fighters, all the boxers were saying he's not going to be able to hit him. Yeah. All of them said, I take that bet, any amount you want. 100% he's going to get hit. What? We don't know how to hit a boxer? Are you stupid now? It's sometimes I don't understand comments. And he was giving him hell the first 2.5 rounds.
Well, I was going to say, when I was bringing that up, matchups make fights. And Conor McGregor and Jorge Masvidal, man, these are 2 top-level strikers. You could probably say these are 2 of the best strikers in the whole UFC right now. I'm just wondering, McGregor's known for his boxing, his left hand, but he's also got some good kicks, great reaction time. Jorge Masvidal as well. We saw that flying knee. This is a guy that's unpredictable. This is a guy that loves to be in the fight. This is a guy with a whole bunch of techniques, more sort of, I suppose, more kickboxing style, but still very, very interesting. How do you think break down the striking between the 2 for us? How do you think these guys match up? If you had to look at it early on right now, who do you think has the more effective striking style to win in this matchup?
Oh, yeah, it's a hard one because Masvidal grew so much in the last years in his striking, and he became so powerful and does that crazy flying knee with Ben Askren, and he works on something which we saw, and then he actually pulls it off. That's the same as what McGregor did with the shoulder punches. Worked on something and then he pulled it off. So I love Masvidal as well, and I love McGregor, both of them. I think striking-wise, I think technical-wise, I think McGregor is the better striker. With his hands for sure. His kicks are great. As we saw landing the left high kick, but I think Masvidal probably has some more power on it, because you will drive that kick through. But then again, Conor doesn't need that power because he knows exactly where he is at any moment. But his accuracy, that's McGregor's bread and butter, man. He's so accurate and he's so good in reading his opponent and moving out of the way and then coming in. Against Aldo. He was talking about it in the dressing room. There's a video that he says it. Oh, don't worry about it. It's going to even cost a minute. I'm going to knock him out fast. And then he actually does it, Prince Nassim Hamed. Remember that guy?
Yeah,
of course.
Boxer. Dude, I love that guy. He was same as McGregor, right? He was actually predicting. He would say, I'm going to drop in the second round 2.5 minutes in. And he would be like 10 seconds off. Most of the time, he would literally predict his knockout. So how can you say that a guy like that is not an unbelievable fighter? Because he knows when he has to pull the trigger. And McGregor, also hearing that before other fights with Habib, he was still drinking like some whiskey the day before the fight, and now he really started toning out. I think also the fact that he's not so aggressive anymore in the conference before the fight, I think that's going to help him a lot, because any fighter who does that, you can say you don't care, but I'm telling you, man, I always tell my students, especially if they have the first fight, don't start begging down your opponent. I'm going to rip his head off, I'm going to break his arm, I'm going to do it, because that video they're going to play just before you're going to have to go up. And now you got your friends and family members there. And everybody sees you saying, I'm going to armbar him, I'm going to knock it, whatever you say, now you better do it. That's adding a lot of pressure on you. And pressure might make you, not flow anymore, because you get a little scared. Now I better do it. And guess what? Once you start thinking, watch out for this, you're going to get caught with it. The biggest example I always use was, I think my 5th fight or something in Japan. I thought, you know what? I'm not going to hit anything anymore. I'm going to fly out tomorrow. I'm going to go to the forest and I'm going to do a run in the forest. Idiot, right? Because there is roots and there's crazy things. And I'm walking. Suddenly I misstep and my ankle is completely blown. I have to fly to Japan the next day. And I'm there at least an hour because I just couldn't walk.
Wow.
I go, I'm going to do what am I going to do? But I start finally, I hopped over and I found my car, went back home, and I started forcing everything that I had. When I met everybody, hey man, what's up? But I was in pain, but I'm telling you, not my manager, nobody knew. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't want it to leak out. And I'm in the fight and I know 100%, nobody knew. And the first thing the guy jumps at was Vernon Tiger White. He jumps at that ankle and he puts a toe. First freaking thing. And that's what I'm saying. If you're afraid for something to happen, it's almost like you're sending a signal out, something that his brain picks up, and they go, whoop, let's go after that. And that's what happened in that fight. I won, but I mean, the fact that he right away went for my ankle as the very first move, I thought that was weird.